Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Tycho from Your Voice Magazine, and I'm hooked. Like this show, it's addicting.
You
I
saw it?
mean,
How many episodes you see?
right now I'm on the end of episode 2, about to go to episode 3, but I don't want to spoil too much for the fans
Okay.
who want them to tune in.
Okay,
So I
cool.
can tell you offline what I think, but I'm not gonna give too much in this. But
Want to
my
know
first
thumbs up, thumbs down.
thumbs up if
Love
whoever's watching this. But my first question is gonna go to actually you, Randy. So, what was it about the Meech and Terry story that stood out to you and had you say, "Yep, let me hop on board and make this a show"?
it. I think first of all, the thing that stood out most to me, I'm a Detroiter, and they are Detroiters. You know what I mean? They're probably the biggest Detroiters who ever did it, and we had a lot of people who did it big in Detroit. So to have the opportunity to tell their story, and then to have the opportunity to spend all the time, the last 3 years, researching this story, and what I found out was that, like Meech, the biggest thing he said, we came from a two-parent household. Christian household. You know what I mean? We were just, very, poor. You know what I mean? Which created our decision. So that aspect related to me because I don't come from a two-parent household, but I come from a Christian household. And I
Right.
really wanted to delve into like why. And I also grew up in the 80s. And one of the things Big Meech told me also is I want to tell the origin story. Everybody know about these two dudes who went to Atlanta from Detroit and started getting money, but I want to tell why we did it when we started. And that origin story is part of my story as well because I'm only like a couple years younger than them. So to tell a story about these two giants that was part of my story, part of my city story,
Impactful.
sign me up all day.
Right. Love that. Now, Meech. Now, while we know the persona of Big Meech, many people are beginning to know Lil Meech. Now, how much of Lil Meech will we see in your portrayal as your father in this series?
Oh, most of all of it. I mean, I have to be myself. I can't be my dad. I just, can live truthfully under imaginary circumstances. Put myself in his shoes and grab my real emotion from it and use, my real emotion and put
Right.
myself in his shoes. And make the right choices. So that's exactly what I did. And the whole cast, we had an amazing cast, just amazing cast, and I got to learn. Like me and Da Vinci got to learn from real legends. Like it still blows me away today that we were really on set working with Wood Harris and Russell Hornsby, and like
Right.
it's crazy. Like so many legends, like Randy and 50 surrounded us with a crazy, amazing cast, and it really helped me and Da Vinci grow as actors too. So
Yeah.
people really get to see like, this is a real show from real choices. Like me and Da Vinci and the whole cast use
Are
real.
going.
Yes, like this is
Right.
we've all connected, to the story because some of us went through it a little bit ourselves, and not so much of what they did of the just the connection with the family. You might have went through something with your family member, and it just brings a whole connection as a family.
Love that. Now, Da Vinci, why do you think the culture needs a show like this right now? And what can they learn from it?
I think the culture definitely needs a show like this only because I think it's kind of like I was saying before. We need to understand the why. There's always a reason why someone become the way they become. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people just see the last 2 years or something, the last 5 years or something, and just judge people off of that instead of really judging them off the merits of their character to where did they come from? Why
Right.
did they do? You know what I'm saying? When you take, when you just look at the story, this whole picture, and you're like, we come from nothing. And you have parents, you could come from a two-parent household, both parents working two jobs, but they're still making pennies. And it's just like, there's a frustration that come from that. And you're like, in order for me to even pursue my dream is a luxury. I need to have some type of money to do that. In order, so it makes you see their situation and realize, like, damn, this is crazy. And then, as I always say, is like, if you start looking at them like, oh, well, they didn't have to do whatever they did, but it's just like, I mean, look at the founding fathers of the country that we're in. And that
Right.
answer, boom, you know what I'm saying? You look at what they're doing, and it's just like, they did some gangster shit. And in this country, the gangsters get rewarded, you know what I'm saying? and
Mhm.
and and it's like, but it's consequences that come with it as well. But
Right.
if you use it and try to do more good with it, which they did, that your legacy is going to live on. I mean, they were helping and providing scholarships for people and funding people through so many things back then, and look what the show is doing now. even though they're both locked up for 30 years, but they're still providing opportunities now. So I think
The community.
folks should just see that and not look at it like, oh, these are just drug dealers that just flashing out. They were educated. And I think that's what really, like, they were educated and spiritual. So it's not just like crazy gangsters that's just doing shit for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It was a purpose behind it, and I think that's why they were so successful, because they planned. Like they were geniuses.
Well, I would have to say the cast down to the producers and everyone is a genius. So keep doing your thing. I love the show. I know fans are gonna love it, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna pick it for season 2. That's me manifesting. So I'm gonna put some good energy out there for y'all. Okay.
All those manifestations all day. Thank you.
I'm gonna manifest. I give me a roll up on there one day. That's what I'm also. Okay?
That's what's up.